Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Intuitive Innovations. We are 2 and 6 Creator Studios. And I just want to start by saying I hope that y'all had the most gorgeous, beautiful holiday with your family, regardless of what holiday you participate in, regardless of how you define holidays. My hope for you is that it was filled with love, light, and peace. If we haven't had the chance to get to know each other, I am Luna Goddess. I look forward to leading you today on a discussion about the liminal space. We are actually in that space right now between what we call the holiday season and the new year. And it's a time for reflection. It's a time for some leftovers. It's a time to look back on your year and say, okay, but even more so with this year being 2025, it's a time to look back numerologically on what we call the 2025 9 year. So if you think back with me to 2016. That's a long time ago. That's like pre-pandemic, pre-COVID, pre-everything. But go back with me to 2016 and try to think of one thing that your life was about in 2016, because that was the start of this 9 year cycle. And I think about my personal life, and it is completely transformed to where I am in 2025. Nico, what about you, honey? Do you remember your 2016, where you were, what you were doing?
Oh, yes, I do. I was still a kid back then, but everything just I don't know, seemed a little better. But yeah, that was my next year after 2016, so 2017 was a very very bad year for me.
Mine
So,
too. I got divorced that year.
oh
Well, my
geez.
divorce started that year. I'd been married for 18 years and it became a closure year. It seemed like this 9 year cycle, right from 2016 to 2025, was just transformative. Transformative. So, as we sit and look, I want you to sit in that liminal space. The liminal space is the space between. And we sit in that space between and we think, okay, what do we want to accomplish now as we start 2026? It's a 1 year. 1 years are going to be about that new beginning. So let's start here. You just had the holidays and you just had family over. And I will say sometimes some of our family energy is kind of funky. It's like spiritual BO. We need to kind of cleanse out the space, right? They've come in, they've left an energetic stand, like an energetic print on what you were doing and what you're saying and what you're feeling. So let's sit with that feeling, right? Let's just say your Aunt Bertha comes over and she's always negative, and your house is a peaceful place and she brings mayhem, right? She brings mayhem. How do you, before the new year, so as you sit from the holidays, headed into the new year, how do you reclaim energetically your space? Now, this doesn't have to be just during the new year. Anytime you're in a workspace, anytime you're in a space where you predominantly spend some of your time, usually work or home, how do you cleanse that area? Well, I'm going to talk about 3 different distinct ways. To kind of get started, you'll see this image here up on the board. There's spray, there's smoke, and there's sound. So let me explain both of those. We'll kind of start with sound. The best that you can ever use to reclaim the energy of your space is intention. This space is filled with light, love, and positive energy. You can walk through your whole house. You can walk through your cubicle. You can do this in your car. This space is filled with love, light, and positive energy. Your voice is one of those ways, right? Furthermore, you can use sound with something like Tibetan chimes, and you can chime your way through the house. This space is filled with love, light, and positivity, right? Or positive energy. I will tell you, if there's something stagnant in there. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to call Ghostbusters. That's not what I'm saying, though I do deal with people that do call Ghostbusters, or that when things fail. I'm talking about just stank ass energy. Sometimes that's in your house, and that is okay. We are going to get rid of it. It's just stagnant energy. You got into the fight, I guarantee you, with your significant other about the holidays, because there's so much stress leading up into the holidays. Everybody wants that picture perfect, Pinterest perfect, Facebook flawless moment. Guess what? That's not life. That's not life. We can be happy and we can still have beautiful moments, but they don't have to be perfect, beautiful moments. They just have to be authentically beautiful moments. So I guarantee you at one point in time, you lost your shit a little bit during the holidays. That's okay. But I can also guarantee you there's an imprint of that energy in your house. You have to cleanse it out. You have to move it out. You have to move it out of your body too, not just your home, because your greatest asset, your greatest gift is going to be your home here, your home in yourself. the authenticity of self. So again, we started with sound, right? We had the kind of the Tibetan, the perfect chime. Well, sometimes our energy feels a little off and we need to move that and cleanse that. Another way we can do it, and I have 2 different sprays I brought in. There's a Palo Santo spray, right? Spray and sound, right? Or this is a lavender sage. Now, this does say sage, but I want to be very, very intentional. And please, 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 to all the people running around with the white sage, stop it. Stop it. Please stop it. White sage is reserved for Native Americans, indigenous people, and their ceremonies. Do not be running around with white sage. It is being overgrown. It is being robbed from our earth. There are plenty of other beautiful sages you can use. There are plenty of other beautiful smoke items that you can use. I'm going to get to that in a second. So say then we can kind of come around and let's say there is, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm going to be careful how I sage in here because there is an active spirit in this network, in this creator studio. There's a haunting. It's already talked to me today. So it's benevolent, but it's here. There's actually multiple spirits here. So I'm not going to sage them out. Also, too, you'd want to have your windows open. I'm sitting in a studio, no windows here, loves. So as we kind of look at that and move through that. Furthermore, we can use smoke. Now, this is really, really cool. And it's big as, oh my goodness, this is grande. This comes from Taos, New Mexico. There's a pueblo that's been there for 1,000 years. And as you can see, there's absolutely no sage in this. This is the cedar lavender bundle. And I believe spruce too. This was put together by indigenous people of Taos in their little village. There's absolutely no electricity. They haven't had it for 1,000 years. They don't have it now. So when they sit there, I got it from this beautiful woman who farmed this from the back of her yard. This I will light a blaze on New Year's Day and just sage the energy and welcoming the new energy of the new year. Furthermore, during this time of Yule, other traditions include something like simmer pots. Why do you do this? Again, it's energetic. You get this simmering throughout your house, has things like a bay leaf, peppercorns, cinnamon sticks, different essential salts. Sometimes there's oranges because orange is for bringing in the money and the luck. There's different essentials that you can do. You can kind of build your own. If you haven't had a chance to look on my TikTok, I walk you through how to do those simmers. Okay. I'll pause for a second. Any comments that we have coming in, Nico?
Let's see, Mr. Cinnamon.
Mr. Cinnamon. We love Mr. Cinnamon. That is Luna's energetic best partner in the whole universe.
There you go. Said no negative Nancy's allowed when we were talking about the negative people coming over for the holidays.
Yeah, we don't, you know what, Cinnamon and I, we're very intentional about who we let into our homes. You all should be very intentional about who you let into your homes and your energy. You are more concerned about protecting your bank accounts and your internet privacies than you are your home and your energies.
That's very true. He also said that village was amazing.
That village was amazing, right? So Cinnamon and I were together and we were in Taos, and that village was absolutely transformative. Like the way they built their adobe homes. It was a vibe being there. There was no filming allowed there. So of course, as a streamer, I was like, oh, okay. But I respected the fact that this is the way they've lived for 1,000 years. And I got to bring home this piece of it. Now, am I going to burn the whole thing? No. I'm going to take a snippet of it and I'm going to go ahead and burn it that way. For my friends here at 216 Creator Networks, I bought these little, I think they look kind of like snow globes, but inside is instructions for cleansing and a little Palo Santo stick. So for all my people here, I'm grateful for all they do for me. But those are kind of the ideas of how we can go about and cleanse our space as we look towards this liminal area between New Year's and, between the holidays and New Year's. To my Canadian friends, happy Boxing Day. It is a national holiday in Canada, and I see that some of them are in the stream. So just sending you some absolutely gorgeous, beautiful love.
We have a comment from Ketroman777. Basole can be like simmer pot energy. Moon Kitty?
I love pozole. It is absolutely a vibe. It is absolutely simmer pot energy. That is a brilliant observation. Just think about it. One other thing I want to alert you to, if you kind of remember that movie like Water for Chocolate, please, when you're cooking or you're doing any kind of intention in the kitchen, do it with positive energy. If you want to bring something into you, you stir it clockwise. If you want to take something out of it, you stir it counterclockwise. So every day, this is crazy, but it's kitchen magic. Every day when I'm stirring my coffee, I think about intentionally what I want my day to be. And I'm stirring in through affirmation that energy into something I'm also going to be imbibing and drinking in. Okay, so that's kind of something I want you to sit with that energy, right? These are little small things. Now, another big thing, as we start the energy of this time, and I'm watching the time, it's 11:11, everybody. Perfect. I caught it. I just looked at the clock and caught it. Make a wish with me, but this wish is a claim. So to the universe, claim the energy that you want. Do you want more peace? In the chat, in the comments, do you want more peace, prosperity, abundance, love? I'm going to just take a second and make that claim. Take a deep breath and release it with me. So on that 11:11, hopefully you were able to make those claim statements. Nico, what would you claim more of for this new coming year?
More positive energy. I've always had the problem with, like Mr. Cinnamon said, being a negative Nancy. And finally, 2025, I've been kind of able to turn that around. So going into 2026, my goal is to just make myself a better person and try to strive for what I want to be.
I love that. I look at you and I see the lightness. It's so funny. I don't see a negative Nancy, but I've known you only in 2025.
Thank you.
It's the way we talk to ourselves too, right? I will say this. You live with you the most out of anybody, right? More than your partners, more than your children, more than your coworkers. You stay with you all the day. Think about everything that runs kind of rent free in your head, myself included. I will catch myself. I caught myself on the way driving here today and thinking, okay, a thought that pops up, I can either look at it from a positive output or a negative one. Now, I'm not saying we all have to be toxically positive. Like we don't walk around, everything's great, I'm great, I'm okay, everything's fabulous. I'm talking about authenticity and our positivity. It's owning our shit. It's literally healing our shit and saying, look, yeah, okay, I got to let go of this negative self-talk, because the moment you can do that, that's where you really step into your pure magic. Words have power. They have meaning. Every word you speak intentionally has meaning, whether you're speaking it to yourself or you're speaking it to others. We go back to the 4 agreements. I might reference this frequently in this podcast. Be intentional and impeccable with your word. Be intentional and impeccable with your word. Okay? So it literally means we're sitting with that energy of, how are we talking to ourselves? How are we talking to others? If you are joining us from our TikTok stream, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your tippity taps. Thank you for all those beautiful gifts and goodies that you send. If you're coming in on another stream, hi, welcome. I'm Luna. I'm really grateful to get to sit with your energy. I'll pause for any comments that we may have, but just grateful to see everybody today.
We have Moon Kitty that says, I like to stir cinnamon in my drinks.
Perfect. And cinnamon's great because, not just my cinnamon, you guys know that, but cinnamon is one of the accelerants. Now, on the first of the year, we're going to have many vibey things on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day that you can do. And we're going to kind of walk you through those right now before we start to look at the collective read. But cinnamon is definitely an accelerant. It's an accelerant in everything that brings in more abundance, luck, prosperity. That's the purpose of cinnamon. There's other herbs that do that as well. Remember, everything has a purpose and a reason. Our creator was extremely intentional with vibration and numbers and the chemistry and alchemical properties of all of these herbs, crystals, frequencies. So people are always like, but Luna, is that kind of hooey? No, it's not. Okay. Your phone can't work without crystals. TV can't work without crystals. Okay. Recipes can't work without herbs. Okay. Unless you're really bland and I'm not eating your food. So as you think through that, everything is also frequency. Things vibrate in certain frequencies, molecularly speaking. So it's chemistry, it's physics, it's biology, it's botany. All of that comes together to help you get to your personal alignment and frequency. Okay. Let's continue. I think we've got everything. Are we caught up in the chat, my love?
We have one more comment from Mr. Cinnamon. Said, heck yeah, dude, talking. We got this. We definitely do. And we also, in response to your comment, yes, I'm fabulous from Mr. Cinnamon. And then Moon Kitty said, yes, you are, Mr. C.
Oh, there's a lot of love. You guys, that's the one thing is community. And I am so grateful. We obviously have presence in the social media world, right? Obviously with Intuitive Innovations. But if you don't know me, I am a nationwide leader on TikTok. So we see a lot of that TikTok energy coming over here from our community of Luna Chicks and Luna Chicos. So I'm grateful for that. I'm absolutely grateful for that. All right. Let's talk about traditions. Let's talk about those traditions in the new year. And I want to pull up the colors, if that's okay with all of you guys, because the chonies make a difference. The undies make a difference when we're talking about the colors of the new year. And you might be like, Luna, what the hell are you talking about? Let's talk about superstitions. Superstitions are not just stuff that was made up. It actually comes from a place of our ancestors passing down traditions that then become labeled superstitions, but they're traditions and they all have a purpose and a reason. So let's start with a couple of the don'ts. What should we not do? Okay, what is something that we're going to have up here on the screen of what do we not do during the time of New Year's Day and New Year's Eve? And then we'll talk about the do's. Okay, first and foremost, on New Year's Day, the 1st of January, okay? So lock in with me, people. On the 1st of January, don't sweep. And you're going to be like, you know what, don't sweep? Well, you probably don't sweep anyways, but don't Swiffer, don't vacuum, don't anything, because you're going to sweep away your good luck. You're going to sweep away your good luck. Don't wash your laundry. If you have like loads of laundry, do it on the 31st. Actually, energetically, it's important to cleanse and clean your space on the 31st. We'll talk about that in a second, but these are two that I've lived by my whole entire life of not sweeping and not doing laundry. You do not want to wish away your luck. So as I say this on the 1st, now what should you do on the 1st? Well, there's a couple things we're going to talk about what to do on the 31st and the 1st. The 1st of every month, we do the cinnamon ritual. What does that mean? Ground cinnamon in our hands, standing in our front portico, whatever door you either go through or that energy can come through. You're going to blow in cinnamon and you'll say something very similar to, I have that ritual up on my TikTok. When I blow the cinnamon, prosperity will come. When I blow this cinnamon, abundance will stay. When I blow this cinnamon, abundance will live here. 3 times. There is a power of the divinity of the Trinity. And on the 3rd time of saying it, blow it into your house and then leave it there, people. Do not remember, because we're not sweeping on the 1st. The 1st of every month, so you have 12 opportunities to energize your space with abundance. Now that could be abundance of peace, abundance of money. Generally, the cinnamon is for luck. It is one of those old tricks for bringing in more money, more abundance. And in 2026, I believe we'll have an energetic change as we start that 1 year. There'll be a little bit, I'm not going to lie to you guys right now. These next 5 days will be a little bit of a push. It's going to be a bit of a push against your soul and your heart. As we squeeze, it's almost like squeezing out the last bit of toothpaste as we squeeze the energy out of this year, out of this 9-year cycle, and make sure that we have learned the lesson. Because I will tell you, if you don't learn the lesson, the same space, place, and face will come to you. Okay. That is kind of where we sit with the energy right now. Let's talk about the things we want to do. Also over here, I just want to point your attention to the QR code. That will take you straight to my website. If you find yourself feeling a little lost, if you find yourself feeling in the holidays or maybe needing that mindset to get ready for that next 9-year cycle, please visit us at lunagoddess.org. We have beautiful resources for mindset hacks, readings, intuition, healings, and the resources that you can use. Even the swag that says heal that shit is available over there. We have a whole new line and collection coming that we will most likely be, I guess, secret. don't tell anybody. We will most likely be launching all of our line on TikTok this year. So very excited about that. We're just working on some of those details. So you can head on over there and look to getting to your energetic best self in the new year. When we all yell new year, new you, how much are you really committed to that on the spiritual and mental side? A lot of people start the working out. How much do you really commit to the mental and spiritual side of things? Okay, my loves. So just sit with that. Think about that. Okay, checking in with the chat. Anything coming up?
Let's see. Moon Kitty says, so no cleaning on the 1st. Got it.
Now, that doesn't mean the rest of the entire year. It just means the first. Sit down, feast. Really, you think about it. Energetically, for me, celebrating in January as an alchemist is weird because we're still in hibernation. If you think about it from our ancestors' standpoint, they wouldn't have celebrated anything. They would have just been trying to survive on the bounty that they had harvested. The real celebration of our spirits and renewal is the spring. It's the spring when we come in and we start the joyful reblossoming, right? We can look at January, but you think about it from a historic standpoint, that doesn't make sense. They would have just been trying to stay warm. They wouldn't have had that opportunity to feast. They were in survival mode.
We have one more comment from Kent Jones. I tend to consider the new year on my birthday in July. Is this wrong, or should I pay more attention to the calendar year?
Well, Ken, thank you, love. Thank you for also being a fan of this podcast. I think the most important thing to realize is that's your solar return. So if you really want to have it sit about that, thinking that you can celebrate your own personal rebirth because that's your solar return. Choose any day you want to celebrate. Personally, for me, I think the spring, when I think with the equinox and I think about the rebirth, that to me feels more of a time to celebrate and set intentions for the rest of my year. January just happens to be an arbitrary calendar date, right? Our calendar is not even correct. We could really get down that rabbit hole, but our calendar hasn't been accurate since, Caesar and Augustus time. So, if you want to get down that rabbit hole, please do. Okay, let's look at the things we should do. So we're not cleaning on the 1st. You're not washing laundry. We're not sweeping. All that cleaning will have been done on the 31st or before. Most likely, I will do it on the 30th. So I can celebrate the 31st, breaking and ringing in the new year. I will not do it on the 28th. And don't y'all forget, the 28th is Luna's 50th birthday. We have a beautiful event on TikTok and a birthday battle at 8 p.m. Central. So please register on TikTok, come to the battle, come celebrate the birthday at 2:22 for all of your super fans. We're going to be doing vision boards. So big things coming up on the 28th before we lead into the new year on Sunday.
Wendy Munson says, you are magnificent, my darling. I am Uncle Pete's mother. He would be 59 tomorrow. Thank you. Just for the people that don't know, Uncle Pete is one of the founding fathers of 216 The Net.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you for the kind words. That was lovely. That was very lovely of you to say. I'm just me, right? I'm an intuitive and I'm an alchemist and I just sit with those energies. So as we sit and think about that, I think what really resonates with a lot of the community is I show up authentically. And I encourage you all to show up authentically. There's no dupe energy here. This is me. This is raw. You will see me cry. You will see me scream. You'll see me swear. And people are like, well, Luna, you're an articulate woman. You speak all these languages. Yes, I do. But sometimes saying a good, strong cuss word is just what you need to say. And I'm not going to hold myself back. And you guys shouldn't either. Recognize the environment you're in, but show up there authentically. Like, I'm not saying go into a cathedral and start like letting the profanity fly. I'm not saying that because you respect your environment, but I am saying please be authentic to yourselves.
Moon Kitty has a quick question.
Got it.
Would we hold the same superstitions on the beginning of spring then?
I would. You know what? Spring is about that renewal, right? I would say sit with that and see what feels right for your practice when you hit that spring equinox. I'm a big fan of honoring those 4 major holidays, the equinoxes and the solstice. You all know we did simmer pots on the solstice together. There's a lot of prayer and reverence as we watch. We just passed through the winter solstice, right? We watch the light dim. That was the darkest day of the year. Now the light's returning. Now the light's returning. So if you think about it, the way that the calendar or the way that the solstices are split up and the equinoxes, it's beautiful to sit and kind of do a quarterly check-in with yourself. It's kind of a quarter check-in with yourself. Okay. So taking a look at what do we do? So I said, don't clean. And everybody's like, hallelujah, hallelujah. Don't clean, right? What do we do? Let's talk about the New Year's and some of those things that are superstitions, or I say more traditions. Superstition just takes on that negative connotation. Tradition is something that we can do that's grounded in experience that others have passed down. So let's look at those. Why don't we put those up? Those will be those things that we can do in the new year energetically. We're not sweeping, right? We're not doing that. We're looking towards a couple things. Those couple things involve in Spain. I lived in Spain. And during the new year, we did the 12 grapes. Now, if you're like, what? You're going to shove 12 grapes in your mouth at midnight? You bet, but start eating them because you don't want to choke on them. You don't want to end up dead on New Year's Day. What you do want to do is have a grape, okay, 12 grapes. You're going to do this and you're going to eat them and make a wish. I'm going to talk about 13 wishes in a second, but you're going to make a wish. You're going to sit there and say, okay, I wish for XYZ, more peace, more, and not even wish, I claim. Watch how I say the difference. I claim tells the universe, I'm aligning myself with that energy. I claim success in XYZ. I claim prosperity. I claim peace. I claim radical abundance. I claim all these things. Make those 12 wishes, one for every month of the year. Maybe intentionally think, okay, in January, I claim this. You're going to go fast because you're popping the grapes and keep chewing. Don't choke, okay? We do not advocate choking on grapes, okay? 2, open your windows. Let the new in. Let the old out. Let the new in. Okay, so you're opening your windows. You think about it. People have all these noisemakers. You don't even think about what the heck that comes from, right? You think about it. You make noise. You're like, woo, happy new year. And you scream and you say, may all acquaintances be forgot, whatever the hell. Okay, y'all sing. You're using your voice. Guess what? That's keeping the energy positive with the noisemakers, scaring away the negative energy. Singing in unison. Also, a really fun one. I love to travel. So I like this when you take an empty suitcase and you walk around your house, walk around your space, walk around wherever you are, if you want to bring more travel into your life in the new year. So I'll take it to the chat right now. What is something, or maybe you go, what is something you use? And I'm going to talk about underwear color in a second, because I did talk about chonies, but what is something that you do as a superstition in the new year? Anything you do year over year?
I try to go into the new year with a positive headspace. The 31st, New Year's Eve, is also my mother's birthday. So there's a little, sentimental value to that. But yeah, I just try to have a positive outlook on the year to come ahead. It's the best way I can say.
That's the way you want to start the new year, right? We don't want to start the new year. However you start the year is how the year is going to go. So that's a great point that you say, like, you shouldn't be arguing. You shouldn't be fighting. You should be in your peace. Unless you really are just an a-hole that likes to argue, and then argue away, but don't come over by my space, okay? We also are going to talk, and I'm sure, take some time in the chat. Please put in the chat, what are you going to do and how are you going to start the new year? Couple things. Underwear. Wearing the right color and underwear is essential. So let's talk about it. It's a popular, they say superstition, I'm going to say tradition. In many Latin American countries and European cultures, each color is believed to attract specific energy or outcome of the year. Okay, so let's look at it. Ladies, if you're looking for love in all the wrong places, a couple things. You can attract love, passion, and romance. It's if you wear red. Wear some red undies. Put on the red chonies and rock that romance, right? Is the go-to for finding a new partner or reigniting fire in a relationship. Cinnamon, we don't need that red. We do enough trouble. Okay, so if you want some romance, put on the red panties. The word panties, oh my gosh. If you want wealth, prosperity, and success, financial abundance, career, and luck, yellow or gold. Makes sense. Think about it. Red, passion. Gold, coin, the gold doubloons, right? If you wear white, it's peace, it's harmony, a fresh start. Okay. Ideal for those kind of seeking a blank slate in a stress-free year. Okay. If you wear green, growth, health, renewal, right? Think about also, I'd like to say too, working through that heart chakra in a way too. It's manifesting vitality and a deeper connection to nature wearing green. If you wear blue, your wellness, your tranquility, your wisdom, wear this to invite mental clarity and physical health. If you wear pink, focus on platonic love, harmony, and affection. I'd also even go in to say self-love. It helps to build stronger friendships and gentle emotional bonds. If you wear purple underwear, it will represent your spirituality. You think of kind of that crown chakra energy, creativity, intuition. Choose this to spark inspiration or deepen your inner growth. Black. That's my favorite color. I like live in black, right? Symbolizes power, control, protection. I'm always protected. You guys will always see like there's a wealth of protection that I wear from, oh gosh, being very intentional with crystals, right? But black symbolizes power, control, protection, is believed to help you take charge of your life and shield against negativity. Okay. A lot of people, and I'm seeing some things coming up in the chat. An orange is associated with professional success and enthusiasm. It's for those seeking to advance their careers or find joy. I'll also say this. One thing I do know about the color orange, there's a lot of people that want to have or that are having fertility issues, especially in our today's society. Orange is a beautiful color for fertility. So I would also encourage you is if you have any of those things regarding fertility, always carry something orange with you, especially in your pockets, both sides, ladies, because of your tubes, right? So that's kind of some of those things. What color do you think you wear, Nico?
I'm almost all my underwear are black, so I thought it was going to be a negative thing. I'm very glad to hear that it was, represents power and everything. Quick comment on that from Moon Kitty. What if we wear none?
That's what I was gonna say. I'm a big fan sometimes of, I guess you can pick the color. Mental. If you're chony free, you get to pick the color you align to, because Luna sometimes likes to enjoy, just keeping it breezy. So that is the great thing. The one thing I want to do right now before we get into the collective read is I know I saw there's a couple other traditions. People eat black-eyed peas, for example. I think C-Cat said something about that. That you eat certain things like fish or herring, or there's certain things you don't eat. Is there any other, as we talk about these really beautiful traditions, not superstitions, but traditions that you honor as you enter the new year, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, or in this liminal space where I call it kind of the great release, right? The great exhale, because all that time, it's kind of like an Instapot, right? Leading up to Christmas, leading up to the holidays, whatever holiday you celebrate. I'll speak through the lens of Christmas because I'm a Catholic and a Christian. That's what we celebrate. Yours might be different. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. But from my perspective, I feel like getting to Christmas is like waiting for your Instapot to get to maximum pressure. And this time on the 26th is that release. Like you hit the valve and you're like, Instapot's not a sponsor, but you could be. You're welcome to be. Anyone is welcome to be a sponsor of this podcast. Just reach out to us, please. But letting that go, just kind of letting the pressure go, because we build it up so much to build up to have a beautiful holiday for families, to have a beautiful holiday for our friends, for ourselves, right? But we're in the great release. Is there anything else that the chat says that they do to celebrate that new year, or that is a superstition or tradition?
Nothing at the moment.
Nothing at the moment. Okay. Fantastic. I'll encourage you also, don't go into, and a lot of people do this, right? They go into the new year drinking excessively, right? Just remember that does alter your state. We call them spirits for a reason. I will say, having a clear head moving into the new year, enjoy, indulge, whatever the case is, responsibly, of course. But just remember that it's hard to set intentions if you're over your limit. So please, as we head into the new year, think about your life, think about other people's lives. This is kind of just my public service announcement. Just be safe. Okay. If you've had too much, stay somewhere. Take an Uber, do whatever the case you may be, but protect yourself and those other people. That's so important. Too many people are lost during this holiday period because people choose to not see how beautiful life can be, okay, including their own.
Got a quick comment from CCat Art on TikTok. Repeat what you said about cinnamon powder, please.
Yeah, sure. So on my TikTok, on the first, I always have what's called the cinnamon ritual. It is actually one of my pinned videos. And what you do is you stand with it first of every, but I never miss it on the 1st of January. The 1st of every month, you stand outside your door. One thing, I will always put salt outside my door again to protect, that you stand with cinnamon in your hands and you say the cinnamon ritual and you blow it into your home after the 3rd time of repeating it. If you're interested, please visit our TikTok page, Luna Goddess 222242, and it's there. And you can go ahead and participate with that way. It just blesses your home. And then do not sweep it up for a minimum of 24 hours. We're not sweeping on New Year's Day anyways, but you're trying to bring more of that abundance back into what you're doing. Okay. Thank you guys, obviously, for the taps, the likes, and the shares. Well, we are on multiple streaming platforms right now. If you did miss this podcast, thank you for listening in on all those other beautiful streaming platforms that we are associated with. Okay. Well, 2026. Let's talk about the numerology, and then we're going to do our group read. So thank you guys for the tippy taps. If you're on Facebook, thank you also. Or I'm sorry, if you're on TikTok, thank you also for those beautiful gifts that you're sending. Let's take a look at what it means for 2026. We start another 9-year cycle. What do you want? Oh my God. In 2016, leading into 2017, my life got turned upside down. Upside down. And now I think about it 9 years later, I couldn't be in a better place. I never, if you would have told me, if you would have sat down the Luna of 2016 and said, hey, let me tell you what's going to happen, I would have, as an intuitive, I would have looked at you and said, no effing way. No way. No way. And this is why I say we go to our alignment, not what we want, but what we align to. Since a very young age, and you guys know this, most of you do, about the age 10, my gifts came in, right? But throughout my life, I've tried to suppress them because I didn't feel like they let me blend or fit in. It's not about blending or fitting in. It's about belonging. So I will say the last 9 years has been a true lesson in belonging to myself, belonging to the cycles, belonging to nature, belonging to my intuitive innovations, belonging to service. I've always been about service, right? But really, truly leaning into who I am. To think what I've been able to accomplish personally, and you too. And I can only speak from my perspective because I don't know the 2016 version of you, but you do. You do. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at this 2026, which is so weird to say. It's a 1 year. It's a new cycle. It's a new opportunity. It's a blank slate. What do you want it to be? What do you want to claim it to be? So go ahead in the comments, please. What are you claiming for yourself for 2026, for that start of the new cycle? I want to pull cards. Now, when I pull for collective, I want to talk about discernment. This is collective energy. We've talked about this before. I'll talk about it again. I'll say this every time. It's like going to the grocery store. You don't go in the grocery store and pick up every single product you see. You pick up what aligns for you, what your favorite brands are, what you want to use. Same thing here. When you look at these reads collectively, only touch what resonates with your spirit. If it doesn't fit, don't push it to fit. Don't try to wiggle into jeans that don't fit you anymore. Okay, I've done that. What you need to do is just align with what you have. If it resonates, pick it up. If it doesn't, it's for somebody else because it's a collective read. All right, let's go ahead and start that read. Any questions before I jump into this? we have any comments or questions, Nico?
No questions that I see at the moment.
Okay. If we've missed your question, just please go ahead and repeat it in the chat. And if you ever have any follow-up questions, please just connect with us at lunagoddess.org for your private reading or your mindset hack. Maybe you need that support energetically to move on. Maybe you've been in rumination. Maybe you've been in resentment. You don't want 2026 to be that, or the next 9-year cycle to be that. So take that time, invest in yourself to change that mentality. Okay. We're going to look at that collective read, my loves. Oh, I cannot believe the cards. Holy Moses. Okay, we'll start with the tarot and then we'll clarify a little bit. If ever there is a time for some of these cards to come, we're talking about 2026 energy. We're talking about making. I'm kind of shook. I do this all the time, right? But I'm like, what do we got, Spirit? We got. Well, let's start here, and it might be a little hard to see, so I'll just kind of explain it. This is the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, the 5 of Pentacles in the upright talks about feeling like you don't have what you need, being locked out in the dark, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, financial, not having what you need. In the reverse, we think about letting go of those limiting beliefs, letting go of feeling that we don't have enough or not enough, that we are ostracized from people. So this is kind of the let it go energy, right? We now realize that at any point in time, there's the key right here. We are the key. We have the key to unlock what we need. We're not going to let the external factors of society, other people's opinions, our past limiting beliefs stop us. And then I said, okay, well, that's cool. So this is the energy we've passed through, right? In 2025. Squeeze the hell out of all of us. Squeeze the hell out of me. I don't know. Nico, did it squeeze the hell out of you? I don't know. This year was just,
Oh, it definitely did. Yeah. I'm ready to start the next year.
Yeah, it's transformative. I will say it pushed me to boundaries I didn't think I had. And I do a lot of shadow work. I do a lot of healing. I'm very precise with the way I interact with my own self. And it still destabilized me. I felt like there were many tower moments throughout the whole year. And it wanted me to make sure that in this 9-year cycle, this shedding, the year of the snake, that I was letting it all go. And then what comes up? Where are we at right now? The death card. And people are like, no, Luna, death. No, it's not death. It's death of your ego. It's death of the version of yourself that no longer suits or serves you. It's the death of expectations that didn't come to fruition because they weren't in your alignment. And even more so, if this card's the most beautiful death card, this is coming out of the Late Sears Tarot. I absolutely love this deck. It's the rebirth. Think of it kind of like your grand phoenix rising, right? Think of it as that energy of sitting with yourself and saying, I own my shit. I heal my shit. I know my shit. And I'm moving it forward. Being authentically yourself. It's the death of the dupe. I'll say that again. It's the death of the dupe. It's the death of you trying to be like somebody else. You were not created to be mediocre or average. You were created to be extraordinary. It's time you step up to your own stage. And you will. And you will, because now we see the Queen of Wands. Here is your glow up moment. 2026 is your opportunity to glow up, to be sparked up, to sit in your beautiful magnificence. I could not have asked for better cards, honestly. I'm going to do a little clarification and we'll move into the oracle. But it's your time. Are you ready? If you do need that support, please, like I said, reach out. But I do love the fact that we're moving all that energy. That's so beautiful. That's absolutely so beautiful. Thank you guys, my community on TikTok for all the gifts. I appreciate you so much. You guys are so sweet. Let's take a look. Thanks for the tippity taps too as well. And from other communities, welcome. Welcome. Oh, Oh my gosh. Okay. King of Cups. King of Cups. Let's get in that feeling. Let's get into controlling. I think there's a lot of us, I've noticed having a conversation with some people running around in the real world, a lot of unhealed energy. Okay. A lot of not sitting with self, not owning our shit, not feeling what we need to feel, and just being reactionary instead of truly processing and being visionary. Do you want to be reactionary or do you want to be visionary? Now, when somebody does you wrong, you have some choices. You have some choices. You don't always have a choice of what they do, but you have a choice of how you react. You can recognize, and I think a lot of us empaths do this, and this is where we are fabulous, but we also get ourselves in a little bit of trouble. As empaths, we understand the psychology behind their action and we make excuses for it. I'm not saying make excuses for it. You could give them space for it, but make sure that you have your boundaries up. When somebody really shows you who they are, you choose how you want to react and interact with them. They do not need to trigger you. They do not need to impact you. Right? That said, I do see the Ace of Wands as if you guys are not connected to yet spirit, or you're not connected to understanding the inspiration that is coming for you in 2026. I feel the general collective as I sit with this energy and I'm trying to translate what spirit's saying to me is you've lost hope. You've lost the magic of manifestation. You've lost that joie de vie, right? The joy of living. If that's you, please reach out to us. The QR code is right there. Scan, schedule an appointment. Starting on Monday, we're back to doing our appointments, getting you ready for the new year. But if you sit here in automatic desperation and depression, like every day feels like Groundhog's Day, you can make very quick micro changes to your energy, to your alignment, to leave you in a place of more blissful reality and living. Okay. So as we sit there, let's get a couple of angelic numbers. Any questions, any commentary that I'm missing? Let me know. Hi, Anna. Hi, Felicia.
Highs and hellos.
A couple of highs and hellos. Thank you guys for all the goodies too. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support for our podcast and for the channel.
Moon Kitty says, I love how the reading moved from tangible pentacles to action to emotions to action.
Isn't that cool? I know. That was the coolest thing. I was like, it just really took that flow of, what do we do? Because a lot of people will say, just be positive. What does that mean? How do I do that? How do I do that when there's, bills and energy and people are negative and society is cruel at times? And I'll redact all of those statements. Again, here's a really fun thing. And I teach my people this all the time. You just say redacted. You say something nasty about yourself, say redacted, please. You start to get into a negative mindset, sit with that mindset and figure out where it's coming from, right? Where's it coming from? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my goodness. When you see what it comes, I'll give him this reading, this place. This is a magical place here, this studio. I swear to goodness. Okay. On top of, so what came on top of this one where we feel insecure and unsafe is 844 safe. I literally laid it forth, right? Let me read it. 844 safe. Feel secure in the divine. Your angels want you to feel secure and safe in their watchful presence. You're being given an abundance of blessings recently. See these blessings and count them. As you do, say a prayer to the angels for gifting them to you. No blessing is too small to count. So if you find yourself back in this energy, right? Because we're transforming. If you find yourself in lack, count your blessings. If you find yourself in a state of deep rest or depression, deep rest. See how that is? You're supposed to be in deep rest for solitude and reflection. Count your blessings, right? Interestingly enough, when we start to look at the transformation and we start to look at the plan, it says go forth, 957. Stick with your decisions. The choice you make is one you need to stick with. Your angels guard against vacillating any further. Wavering just delays the fulfillment of the bigger picture. Lie in meditation now with your hands on your solar plex chakra, just above the navel, and repeat this mantra a few times until it begins to sink in. I am confident. I am confident. I am confident. This is not imposter syndrome. This is about alignment status. We're aligning. Now, the interesting thing when we look at the spark up and we look at the emotion and we look at taking responsibility for oneself and feelings, this is energetic responsibility. Be aware of the vibes you send out. Your angels alert you to be aware of the vibrations you're sending out into the world. What are you going through? What you are going through is creating havoc for those who are absorbing your energy. Lie in a calm state and focus on breathing deeply in through your nose, all the way down to the toes, right? And then out through your mouth. After a few deep breaths, do a full body stretch. Feel balanced and stabilized in yourself. Let me pull. This is impressive, you guys. This is amazing. As we sit with the energy. Let's take a look at these crystals. And again, welcome. I'm Luna. I'm excited to have you here at Intuitive Innovations. If we can support your growth, that QR code is the place to start. That's your journey. Are you willing to commit to yourself today? That's my question. It's your journey, but that's my question. All right, let's see the two. Churite, transformation, insight, courage. Okay. Churite, and I don't know this one, you guys. This is new one for me. Guides the soul through. It seems more of a purple stone. That's one I don't have in my collection. Guides the soul through deep transformation, turning fear into courage and confusion into clarity. Nurtures emotional healing and awakens spiritual vision, inspiring acceptance and inner strength. Reminds me a lot of what amethyst does, especially too for people that are going through hard times, anxiety. Feels a lot like that when we find ourselves in periods of addiction. This is a Scorpio air third eye. I embrace change with courage and clarity. Beautiful. Another one that we see is zircon, clarity, wisdom, protection. Zircon is a stone of inner truth, joy, and self-love. It is uplifting energy, supporting spiritual healing, and helps reveal your authentic self. It nurtures compassion, clarity, alignment with your highest virtues. Root crown, Sagittarius energy, earth, and fire. Okay. We're going to pull one for love, and then we'll pull our spirit animal as we start to kind of wrap up this stream. If you are joining us over from the TikTok side, this is a good time now to throw them coins and just give gratitude for this podcast and support it in that way. Thank you so much, right? Grand rising, everybody. Let's take a look at love in this new year, and then we'll do your spirit animal. If you're looking for your own individual reading, again, just reach out to us. QR code is there for you, okay? Two love codes. Or two love cards. Here we go. Thank you. Platonic passion. You didn't see it coming, but your heart is waking up to something deeper. Ooh. Who's this resonate with? The line between friend and lover is starting to get blurry. Holy Moses. That's a good thing that Cinnamon's my best friend. But that line's been blurred, man. That line's been blurry. Where are you guys at with that? Woo-hoo. Okay. Different worlds. This connection crosses cultures, timelines, or belief systems and creates both fascination and friction. Who's getting with somebody from a different culture, world, socioeconomic background, timeline, belief system? Ooh, I'm gonna be a nosy goddess. I want to know what's going on. And then, of course, let's go ahead and pull. Thank you guys for all those goodies. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for spoiling Luna. There's stuff up in the treasure trove. If you want to support what we're doing, that would be much, much appreciated. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Lizard. 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 If you're on TikTok, you get that joke. Lizard, regeneration. As a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. I don't know. Nico, do you think this could have even been a more perfect spread for what we're talking about for the new year?
I don't think it could have been. Like you were saying, the studio is a magical place.
It is a magical place. And I encourage you, a couple things, couple takeaways from today as we kind of come to the close of this hour that we've spent together, exploring the liminal space between the holidays and the new year, exploring that liminal space within yourself. Where are there pockets where we can release our feelings and really kind of heal? Where can we sit with the energy? Where can we make plans to continue to align to be a better version of ourselves year over year? I encourage you, if you do need that support, reach out to us. Keep rocking with us in our communities. Keep showing up to the podcast, because in future episodes, we're going to continue to pull on these threads. We're going to continue to explore what it means to have intuitive innovations. Furthermore, if you're joining us from any of these platforms, we encourage you. We are looking for strategic partnerships and sponsors. So if you are looking to sponsor something that's uplifting and intuitive, and the way that the world is headed in the next 9-year cycle, what we will be doing here, it will have been groundbreaking. It will have been revolutionary and visionary. So if this is your vibe and this is your tribe, please reach out to us. Again, you can scan that QR code, or you can reach out to 216 Creator Studios. We're just grateful to provide the space and the message to help heal the masses. Help heal, not heal for you, but help you heal. Any last minute comments, questions, commentary, please let me know, because we're going to just leave kind of with this New Year's affirmation and blessing.
Moon Kitty said, "Thank you for such valuable knowledge and insightful reading."
Well, thank you. And thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. As I always say, thank you for time, talent, and treasures. Your time is your most valuable asset. And your peace, your energy, the treasure you bring, the experience you bring, the monetary contributions you make, they're all very much appreciated. As always, from us here at 216 Creator Studios, from Intuitive Innovation, from Luna Goddess, remember, come celebrate my birthday on the 28th with me, 50 years. Oh my God, I have a century. We wish you the most beautiful, peaceful, energetically aligned New Year. May all of the wishes, blessings, and claims that you make start your New Year off strong. Many blessings from us. Happiest of New Year's.